Assalamu alaikum everyone, and what I'm going to show you today, you're not ready for this. This week and this 2 days remaining of trading, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. You're not ready for this for what I saw and what I found on the charts. So let's start our analysis. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. I just describe or analyze what I see on the charts. So what I am going to start is with DXY. So DXY had two levels which need to be broken. First level was this, as discussed last week in the video as well. It bounced off this last layer of liquidity, and then it broke out from this region very beautifully, and now is approaching this gap, volume gap area, and it's giving off some resistance as well. It has taken its liquidity already, which is right here, right here. So this is also a place which has been, taken for this week. It was quite bullish for DXY and quite blood red for all the other pairs, but in a very choppy way, and I'll get on to it right as well. For now, I'm seeing that there's a imbalance right here, a volume gap down as well. So it might bounce back a little bit to this imbalances and then go forward up. Like it might be something like uh, it might be it might be something like it would go just a little bit up and then down. Let me just notate my pencil. It might go something like up in this imbalance and then come down, feel these imbalances, and then go right up to this liquidity area, right? So this is my next point of interest. I have marked this over some times now. This was in a liquidity area which was taken and then it was, falling down. So this is an area, if this liquidity is broken, which is like a little bit, observant. So let's begin with the next chart as well. You're not going to believe this. The gold is just tipping off some of the areas, and I have marked out those areas as well. Let's just say that it took the liquidity and was going up and was not able to go up, but I tell myself that it didn't have the fuel or power enough, and now it's coming back to take some more liquidity. But this is our safe zone, right? This liquidity is taken, this is the newest low, and these are a few of liquidities left on the way. So if we see a 4-hour chart, we see that this is the liquidity on the weekly basis, this is the liquidity on weekly time frame that has been taken. I've just marked, and I'll just quickly wrap that this liquidity was taken on weekly. This is the new weekly candle low, which is approachable and having a lot of volume right there. So if we see it on the 4 hours, I've just marked it as and these are the equal lows on 4 hours that might be taken. So concluding that it's a very area that is round off. It is currently at 4500. This is currently at 4400s with a minor gap of plus minus 10. This is an area of 4350. So it's going up and down $50 above and low. So this area which is having liquidity is at 4550. So it's again a difference of 50. So it's working itself along in 50. If I am bearish today, which I took a few trades, knowing on a perspective of a lower time frame, 4-hour candle, 1-hour candle, taking the last low, last high, and then breaking it down to a goldenish area. I took a few trades, and one was at loss and two were in profit. So overall, it was a very choppy day for me. Yesterday I took a trade as well, but again it went very choppy here. So I took a trade somewhat right here. My stop loss was right here, and then I took a profit at right here because I was maybe a little skeptical, and then I took a golden ratio. Never mind. So what I'm saying is that if it is bearish, which it is, it might take something around here in 45.20s, 45.15s, and then it would go down to the nearest today, if it's today and if it has enough power, 44.50 or 4400 if it's lucky enough to reach this weekly low, which is very much approachable and having a lot of liquidities. This is the nearest lows, right? So that is what I have found. This is a 30-minute, 1 hour fair value gap within a IDM. So if this is approachable, a 5-minute market structure shift, a 5-minute market structure shift, and then going to an imbalance and then going down. This, can you see this whole pattern? This is so choppy that it's just taking the highs of previous candle and then it's not dropping, and it's wiping all those sellers who thought that this was the last candle and they were selling. This 30-minute fair value gap imbalance right here, I took a trade off here, and I took a profit somewhat in between this low of 30-minute candle because it was not having much of a volume. And again, I had a 30-minute imbalance right here with IDMs, with a lot of liquidity resting here, here, and here. So I'm waiting for this to be across and then come down further, because if this is not this is not respected, then it would go all the way up to again 45. This is also very choppy. There is no as such thing below. This is the only imbalance remaining to stop the gold and bring it further down. So I'm more interested in this area rather than if it's breaking this area, then I would be looking back to get some imbalances and then go up. Next, moving on to Euro USD, I would say that it is potentially giving something bearish as well, but you're not ready for this. Let it load. Ignore this for a while. I use this on a smaller time frames for my TPs and everything. This was a daily fair value gap I was using. Overall, it's in the range. We've been discussing it for the last week. It's within the range. We're trying to find a trade within that range. Overall, it's bearish because it just took the fair value gaps from the weekly and from the daily with daily IDM liquidity. So it's now moving down towards this this weekly candle. But with this imbalance on the daily fair value gap and liquidity, I thought it would be going up, but it was not able to cross the liquidity line. So now it's moving more bearish, right? So if I take golden ratio from this point till this, it's still lying in a golden ratio area, and my stop losses are usually at 0.85, which is like working for me all the time. If this is not valid enough, it would just cross. But on the other side, for JPB, if this is not respecting the daily, JPB is respecting the daily fair value gap right here. And it respected the fair value gap, it crossed the liquidity, and now it's moving on the upward side. But this is an approachable liquidity right here. This is another stop on the 4 hours with a fair value gap and an IDM. So this might be my TP as well. This is my new point of interest if it's bouncing back somewhat today or tomorrow, if DXY is trying to reach up. So this is my point of entry for probably tomorrow, because it's very choppy from the last few days, as gold has been very choppy. It fell yesterday, but in a very choppy way, and today is just just accumulation. Even if it's taking the last low from the Monday range, it's still very bearish, and the weekly candle just made an upper part of it, and now it's going down. The weekly candle just gave its share and it made an upper wick. Now it is supposed to be going down if it's having enough volume. The war news and everything is going on, but there's no serious news here other than this FOMC minutes. So that is it. And for JPB, yeah, again, it's respecting that daily fair value gap right here. So I'm looking at this 1 hour part where I am where there are equal candles. Let me just show you with a little bit zoom that these are candles. This is a no-wick candle, so a lot of liquidity here. This is a fair value gap that has been untouched. So I'm just looking for this to come down, approach this, and then maybe this would be my point of liquidity being taken, the high part. So if the sell side orders are taken, the buy side orders the buy side orders to the upside and sell side to the downside. Somewhat similar. I'm just confusing with the words. I'm seeing a few things as well. Okay. And then if it crosses this is going above. But again, if I'm looking just for a trade, that is it. Again, this was in a range as well. So we're trying to trade within a range since it is within the range, right? If we use a regression tool, let me just show you. Regression trend tool. It bounced off this and now it's approaching this. So again, yeah, it would be bouncing off somewhat off this and bouncing off the 50% of this whole range. So yes, I use regression tool very, 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 less because it's not dependent enough, but sometimes, yeah, it works. The bouncing off gives me a really good moves as well. So let me know what you think about it and I'll see you next time. Your laugh is